Hello everybody, it's Jerry Citarella. You'll notice a new backdrop here. We're upgrading the look. I had to do it. I have a great guest today, Jaden, who I'll introduce in a minute. But you got to stay tuned for this one. Jaden is a whiz kid, a genius, a marketing freak of nature, hugely successful at only 19 years old, and a world-class national level gymnast. So we're going to get right to it.
Thank you for having me on, Jerry.
So, Jaden, I'm going to introduce you by just talking to you. I don't want to introduce you. I want to talk and let people get to know you. They heard enough. Mm-hmm. So you have a childhood, a sports, high level. You started in business at a ridiculously young age. You're absolutely crushing it. You have huge goals, and I hired you, which means you must be good. Yeah. So I want to go through all of that, and it's a lot to cover. Mm-hmm. So we'll get to the marketing stuff, and I know you have some great messages and some great advice, and then also services you offer. But what I love about it is when we were talking, and I was talking about promoting you, you just kind of stayed in the lane of let's just help people. Mm-hmm. And obviously you can hire Jaden, Bottarini Marketing, at the end of this if you want to, but I just want to go through this as genuinely as we can to provide some good information, and if people want to use your services, great. So let's go back. 3 years old, you did a backflip or something?
I did a backflip on a trampoline because I was always a hyper kid. So my parents decided to put me in a gym class, and all of a sudden one day when my group is on trampoline, I just did a backflip one day. And
you were 3?
I was 3 years old, and the coaches at that gym, Gymnastics Olympica is where I started, were like, to my parents, you need to put him in a gym class.
Okay.
We've never seen this before in our entire gym's history. So that's how I started.
Okay. So I see your guns there. So you've obviously done a lot of handstands, a lot of stuff.
A little bit.
So how long were you competing in gymnastics before you decided to stop?
So I competed from 6 to 16. At 16 years old, or right before I turned 16 is when I stopped, and I would compete once or twice a week in middle school to high school. So it kind of put me in a situation to where I had to learn this type of discipline that was way different than the typical kids in my middle school and in my elementary school, because I started competing at 6 years old.
Okay.
So.
And you went to the highest level possible.
The highest level, I was on the national team, which the national team is who they take to the Olympics. So I was on that team every single year of my life from when I was eligible to be on that team.
Okay, so I'm going to ask you a question that I already know the answer to, but I'm just going to ask it just for fun. So going through that, obviously there's some high-level competition, right? How did it feel when you lost a competition? How did it feel when you lost a competition?
I couldn't tell you, Jerry.
Why not?
I've never lost.
Everybody has losses.
Yeah.
How did you do that? Just luck, work hard, naturally gifted, all the above?
Ever since I was younger, I look at my coach as really my first life mentor, because a lot of the principles that he taught me, I use in my business life, I use in my personal life, I use in every facet of my life. And he said that hard work beats talent every single day of the week. And obviously it was very apparent that I was talented. And I could have let that go to my head and maybe not worked as hard as kids, but I was so addicted to winning, because something about me that you guys should know is I hate losing more than I love winning.
Hate losing more than you love winning. Okay, winning is good. Losing sucks, compounded by 12 kind of thing.
Ever since I was a kid.
But you said you never lost. How do you know?
I've been hyper competitive.
How do you know if you've never lost?
Yeah.
You don't know?
I don't know.
Okay. Okay. So the fear of losing was more of a driving factor than the joy of winning.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
Because when you get to that level of being able to stay at the top of something, let alone get to the top, there's a certain expectation.
Okay.
So, of course, I was treated differently at my gym by the coaches, me doing private lessons 3 times a week, plus training 35 hours a week, while being in school full-time, middle school and high school, let alone.
So you never got to really enjoy all the things there are as a kid. You were busy, disciplined, working. Did you ever go outside and just play?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
I love golf. I play golf.
Okay.
I've been playing for a few years.
Nice.
But there hasn't really been a time where I haven't been attacking a goal or working towards something. Because obviously as humans, there's a big factor in having a purpose, or else you're kind of just a leaf blowing in the wind. So I've always been taught to have a purpose and just chase that, because that gives us as humans a purpose, essentially,
Yeah. Okay. So you mentioned goals, you mentioned purpose. You said you're on the national team, which is a path to the Olympics.
Mm-hmm. That's the team they take to the Olympics.
Right, but you didn't go to the Olympics.
No.
Was that by choice?
That was by choice, yeah.
So how do you come to a place in your life where you're probably going to go to the Olympics if you chose to, and say, no, I choose not to? What was that like?
With me, I truly love the feeling of not having a cap. And I looked at the Olympics as a cap on my ability and what I can achieve, which is why I was so attracted to business. Because whatever door you open and whatever achievement that you accomplish, there's always going to be a new door, someone doing better than you. And business, I look at it as a sport. It's something you can do for the rest of your life, which is why I was extremely attracted to it. And at 16 years old, I made the decision to quit gymnastics and go all in on business.
Okay. More opportunity, more stuff for your future, do the Olympics, you're done.
Exactly.
And then who knows what happens from there. So you could have delayed business a few more years, but you just, something in you said, I think this is the point in my life where I want to transition from athlete to successful business.
I think, Jerry, a lot of people don't understand, especially at a young age, because I was in such a work mode all my entire life. A lot of people don't understand that I started at 3 and went till I was 16. So imagine if I started at 16 in business and go till the rest of my life.
Right.
I have a time advantage on most people.
So you saw that opportunity.
Business. I saw that, and I'm like, if I'm going to do this, I have to do this now. So I have that advantage. Because in business, it's all about finding your edge. What's your edge?
Right. And I agree with that. I started young. I started in my business when I was about 22, not as young as you were.
Yeah.
But it gives me an advantage. I mean, when I was 40, I got to say I had almost 20 years in the business already. So I had experience and youth on my side. Mm-hmm. Now I'm just an old guy with a million years worth of experience, but I think it's a huge advantage for you. So you are young. Mm-hmm. Do you find people don't take you as seriously because of your age? Has that been a stumbling block at all, or do you just power right through that?
So I do power right through that, but how I found out how to kind of overcome that age barrier, you can call it, is you simply just become knowledgeable. If you have a conversation with someone, you can tell their level of knowledge. People mistake me for older than I am. So
Gotcha.
I really just, before I even started making money, I spent 4 months of my life reading a book a week on marketing, sales, human nature, psychology, and just purely learning everything I can, because I understood that to be taken seriously in the marketplace, you have to have knowledge, because that's all business is. It's just leveraging knowledge and skills you've learned.
So there's an expression out there you've heard. It's called fake it till you make it.
Yeah.
So you chose not to fake it till you make it. You decided to actually be legitimate, be knowledgeable, and just go into it with the knowledge that was necessary rather than make and believe.
And especially right when I quit gymnastics, to fill that void, I was training 36 hours a week. So you can imagine just absolutely immersing myself in books of sales, marketing, obviously what I do now, and just the whole business world, and studying the top producers in all these different industries. You can imagine that advantage that would have on someone who maybe just wanted to start a business.
Yeah.
Right? Whereas someone who came off from being an elite athlete at the highest level to immerse himself in business, I just completely threw every part of my being into learning everything I could.
No, and I love it. I have, take it off you for a second. I'll shine the light on me for a minute. I have a similar story because I started young as well. Mm-hmm. I realized I was young, and I faked it till I made it a little bit. I got a couple good suits, and I made sure they had cufflinks and some letters. So I looked like I was successful. Got that part handled. I always say control what you can, because there's so many things we can't control. So at least I can control my appearance. All right, I look successful. But then I immediately there's something called the Dale Carnegie course, and Dale Carnegie wrote some of the best books ever about stuff and old school stuff. So I did his master class, and then I was actually asked to teach it, which I didn't do. But I went through that and then just really immersed myself in what I was doing and did a bunch of stuff. And then I was put in a position where I was with a company, one of the largest financial firms in the country. I was the youngest sales manager for them. And then some stuff happened and I ended up taking over the agency. I was not qualified to do it, but they looked around and went, uh-oh, we need somebody and you're our best option. So I was put in a position with a few years experience where I was overseeing and helping people that had been in the business 50 years. So I looked around and there was a library full of knowledge. And I just went, okay, I guess I need to learn all this stuff, and just gobbled up information. And it really helped fast track me through the industry, just having that knowledge where other people at the level I was at the time I was at weren't even close. So I appreciate that, and I appreciate you not faking it, because a lot of people do that.
100%.
Now, you're in a world, social media, where, and that's not all you do marketing and you do other stuff, and I'll let you do it, but you're in a world of social media as part of your primary stuff, where everybody is doing it now, right? I mean, everybody is just, I'm going to be a social media consultant. And as I was interviewing people to work with, I find that most of them either know some basic stuff they all repeat, or really nothing. It's just a bunch of people that went, hey, I got 1,200 friends on TikTok, so I'm going to teach other people how to do it. So what sets you apart from the masses that are trying to get into it, that are just kind of doing it?
I think the fact that I grew up with social media, and I think it goes into the fact of we're a team that understands what it takes to win, and we have such an immense portfolio of client wins, of experience. I get most of my leads from social media. So first of all, if you're trying to sell to someone to bring their business leads, and you can't even do that for yourself, for your own business, you're not credible. I average around 2 million views every 30 days on my Instagram, and I just understand what it takes, and we have so much experience. And our whole sales process is not trying to get someone's money, because we don't need it. We're trying to educate you on what we can do, and if you think we're a good fit, let's go. But my whole sales process is just educating. Here's what we've done. Here's who we helped that's in a very similar, if not the same situation as you are. Here's what we did for them. We just show them results, and then they end up going with us.
Gotcha. And a lot of that's what I ran into. I had people wanting me to use their services to blow up my social media, and I looked at theirs and they had like 500 followers. I'm like, if you can't do it for yourself, you can't do it for me. So yeah, you have proven it with your own stuff. And I know you like just helping people in general and giving advice, and you do some workshops and you do some mentoring and all kinds of stuff. So what else is it that Jaden does with Automedium Market Agency that can help people?
Yeah, so a lot of people can't afford or don't want to hire an agency just out of college. So another service that we do offer is, let's say you hire someone, a marketing major out of college, and you look at me, an agency owner who's offering the service of, obviously we've succeeded for so many of our clients that will go into your business and train your entire marketing team, their sales reps, on how to make content and run ads for businesses, to be able to integrate what's already proven for our agency, because we have a client really in every industry. So it's, again, a plug-and-play system to just integrate that into their business.
What's the biggest mistake people make when they try to do it on their own?
Especially as a business owner, the biggest mistake you can make is doing something that's not your skill set. If you're a business owner, you want to focus on growing the business. Why would you focus on doing low leverage tasks like editing, filming, learning the whole ads manager process, TikTok ads manager and Google Analytics? Why would you ever want to do those low leverage tasks when you can pay someone who's been in it and has success in it, and just focus on what you do best as a business owner, which is growing the business, and like focus on delegating where you're weak at and just growing where you're strong at.
So the mistake they're making isn't in what they're doing as it relates to social media. It's just the fact that they're trying to do it and shouldn't be doing it.
Yeah.
We have to value our time.
Exactly.
What's my time worth? Can I hire someone that can do it better than me, more efficiently, for less than it would cost me to do
100%, yeah.
Gotcha. Okay, so there's no like trick, like, hey, just turn the camera a little different angle, get better lights, get a better backdrop. There's no trick. The trick is use people who know what they're doing.
Yeah.
And that's like my world. We talk about this. People try to invest money on their own. Some people can do it. Prosperitas Financial, we've been managing money for decades. We just happen to do it better than 95% of the people that try to do it on their own. So my statement's the same. The mistake people make is they try to do it on their own without decades of experience and knowledge and a team and 100%. All the rest of that stuff.
Yeah.
And like you said, you have clients in every industry. You've done this. I always use the Sherpa. Sherpa's job is to get you up a mountain. Why do you hire a Sherpa? Because they've been to the top of the mountain 100 times. Why are you going to go, hey, I got a pick, I got a rope, I got some good shoes, I think I can make it. Just hire this guy. He's been there 100 times.
Yeah.
Much better chance of success. So that's kind of where you are. You're the social media Sherpa going to get us to the top of the mountain?
Yeah.
Okay. I know you have some pretty lofty goals for yourself. And I know you. I don't know you real well, but I'm getting to know you, and I know you're humble. but I also see that you're motivated and driven by success. And obviously with success comes money and those types of things. So everybody says I have a successful firm. We talked about it. You're comfortable saying you're at $50,000 a month. And your goal is to double that by the end of this year.
Yeah.
So what's your plan? Because it took you, what, 4 or 5 years to get to where you are now?
No, it took us a year.
I thought you started at 16.
Yeah, I started business at 16. I was doing this on the side, but I did trading, I had a clothing brand, I tried every business you could think of. And then I met the mentor who sold his firm for $2 billion.
And told you dial in on one thing.
And he's like, focus on one thing. So around like a full year.
Okay.
I think probably not a year and a half yet, but a little over a year.
So with what you learned promoting your own businesses and educating yourself, you decided this is what you want to do.
Exactly, because again, I did study marketing and sales.
Gotcha.
For 6 months while I was trying everything.
Okay, so you created this business to the point where it is in 1 year, and now you're going to double it, 100% growth in 1 year.
Yeah.
All right, lofty goals. I like it. I like it. Why not, right? Why go 20%?
Yeah.
All right, so what's the biggest thing that you see ahead of you that's going to take you to that next level?
I think hiring a bigger team. I think building a culture within my firm that I'm able to delegate more of the tasks and put trust in other people. And I already have, but I think the bigger team that you are, the more you can grow. And then integrating newer services, which are helping creators that already have 100,000 followers who don't make a lot of money off social media because you don't really make that much. But when you have influence and you have a product or information you can sell to a certain business or a certain individual, I'm going to help them monetize that with paid ads and marketing.
Okay. A lot of stuff going on in your head. Yeah. And how big's your team now?
7 people.
7 people. And how big do you think you'll be by the end of the year?
I want to double it 14. If we're going to double the rev, double the team. Yeah.
Okay. All right, more people to watch, more people to oversee. So now you're getting into management, business management. Read some books on that.
It's a whole different skill. Leadership is a completely different skill than what got me to the revenue I'm at.
Yeah.
And it's arguably the most important skill to have a successful company.
It is, and leadership and babysitting are kind of synonymous sometimes, and it gets kind of complex. So definitely, there's a great expression that I love, and it's good leaders don't lead from the back, they lead from the front.
Yeah.
Don't push people, bring them along with you.
Exactly.
So I think leading by example and taking them with you, and I see you have that quality in you, so I think it's going to work out well.
Yeah, and especially just not telling your team to do something that you wouldn't do.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's like my team here. I mean, everything that I tell them, I've done it, and I've failed and I've succeeded, and I say I'm never, ever, ever going to tell you anything that I haven't already tried, and I'm not going to let you go down a path that doesn't work because I've already been there. And if you just grab on, we'll do it together.
100%.
Yeah. Okay. Do you take this somewhere else? I mean, a bigger business, another business. What's the next step for you?
I like to think of my business right now as a portfolio of companies I work with, because I'm only working with companies I see myself working with long term. And when we work with a company, we're not just a freelancer, we're a full firm that is becoming essentially a partner in your business to handle that marketing department. But I definitely see myself expanding this to a point where we're taking some equity in companies and being able to grow what we see is not, like, I actually have more control over more aspects of the business. Because as I've learned, the more you know about business, the more you can help other people's businesses because you've seen what other people haven't seen. And the fact that I have a client in basically every industry, I'm learning about every single industry because I get to see their entire marketing. And
Gotcha.
I get to see the entire internal aspect of what is working and why is it working with their customer base.
Yeah.
So I can integrate that while taking equity in some companies and grow that. So I guess continue to grow this into some type of a...
And as your network grows, the opportunities will grow.
Yeah.
A bunch of stuff. You'll find a business that's for sale that you might want. And so,
100%.
So you're open to take it a bunch of different places. But for right now, you're solely focused on this Boderini marketing, which includes social media and other areas of marketing. And you're also doing events, right?
Yeah.
Tell me about the events.
Yeah, so this is kind of exactly part of the DBA, which is the same service from my marketing firm. It's called Boderini Consulting, where we go in and we help businesses either learn the skill of marketing and ads and also help people that want to start an agency, right? So we do that as well, and something that we wanted to integrate was these in-person events, because young entrepreneurs in LA, they value their network. So we bring a bunch of my entrepreneur friends that have great networks and that are making a lot of money, and these people look up to them. So it's a very valuable thing to connect with them and be in a room of 20, 30 kids that are actually working towards the same thing. They're all young entrepreneurs that have this goal, that want to make it in whatever field or industry they're in. And there's speakers like me, like some of the other speakers that have spoken there that are extremely successful, that actually connect with all these kids and give them advice after their presentation, which is a super valuable thing. And yeah, it's definitely a great service that we've integrated.
Okay, and we'll talk about how to reach you and all that stuff. We're on all that information. I want to go 2 more places. So I can go on my phone right now, and within 4 swipes, I can find 3 different posts telling me how to get rich quick, telling me just do this side hustle. I paid off all my debt in 2 weeks. I mean, is any of that real, or are people's expectations unrealistic? What's real, what's not out there? Because every kid thinks all they have to do is whatever, this magic thing. I'll start this site and I'll do this and I'll do that. And before you know it, I'll have a Ferrari and I'll have Gucci shoes and I'll have all this stuff. But what's real, what's not?
So I'll tell you, Jerry, every single business model works. Every single one, if you stick with it. If you stick with one skill and monetize it for 10 plus years and just be patient and don't get shiny object syndrome, which is what a lot of these young kids are getting. They start on one thing, they make progress, they see something that looks maybe more attractive to them, and they jump. And every time you start a new business, as an entrepreneur, your clock resets to 0. So you have to relearn that industry, relearn that, build your foot up from there. And everything is real. Everything works, right? As long as you stick with one thing.
So you're saying that a lot of the stuff that you see on social media isn't so much that it's not real. It's just people jump from one thing to another and don't give it enough time, which is typical. I mean, in my business, again, come back to my business, I'd say 75, 80% of the people that get into it don't become successful in it. And most of them because in the first year they didn't get rich. I don't know why they think that's the case, but so they need to give more time.
That's the case with a lot of these social media.
Yeah, and I get that. And then the other thing that you mentioned was staying focused on one thing. That's important as well. So what would you say would be the most important message, and right here, that's your camera, that's your close-up. This is the most important thing. You're 19 years old, you just turned 19 a few days ago. Happy birthday.
Thank you.
And you're crushing it. I can't speak to the people your age group, and I see them making tons of mistakes, and I see them shiny objects, and I see their values being off, and I see them trying for wealth before stability. And then wealth fails and they never become stable. What's the best message you can give somebody? And I know you've done a little bit of it, but what's the best message you can give some people your age about what to do moving forward?
If you've had the goal of changing your life, being successful, you need to choose between current pain and future pain. Are you willing to go through pain now, right? Suffer, learn the skill, build your network, build yourself up, and understand that it takes time. It's not going to happen overnight. Or future pain. Go out, party, have fun, right? And then get into the business world and that industry like 24, 25. It's just you have to choose between your pain and understand that those thoughts were put into your mind for a reason. And I'm no different than you guys. Again, I just simply did so much volume that it would be stupid for me not to win. Okay, and I genuinely believe that no one is special. Just do an absurd amount of volume, so it would be stupid for you not to be successful at whatever industry you're trying. So yeah.
Words of wisdom. Man, 40, what are you? 40 years younger than me, and I'm learning something from you, which is great. I love it. I mean, also always remain open-minded. I think a lot of people get to the point where they think they know it all and they're not willing to listen. I have a word that I use a lot, and I'm actually going to do a video on this whole thing soon. A lot of people also look for advice but never take it.
Yeah.
You know what I call those people? Assholes. They ask and they ask and they ask, but they never take the advice. And I see that a lot. A lot of people, hey, how do I do this? How do I do that? And then you look at them and they're just not doing what you told them. And we get that a lot in our business. We get young people in, new financial advisors, and we tell them, do these 6 things today. And they do 19 other things and then go, it's not working. Okay, asshole. Like we just told you how to do it. So I think the discipline, the consistency, always moving forward. Obviously, you're going to take some blows, getting back up and moving again. I think in which Rocky movie was it? It's not how hard you get hit, it's how many times you can get back up after getting hit, and, you know, whatever that is. So, all right, I can talk to you all day, and we're gonna talk some more. But is there anything else that you'd like to add to this to make sure that you deliver the message you want? Put you on the spot.
I think people need to understand that if you have a goal that scares you, you need to have a goal that scares you, because if it doesn't scare you, it's not big enough. And it needs to excite you and also bring fear. And when you tell people that laugh about that goal, get away from them. You're the sum of the 5 people you hang out with. And always strive to be in a room where you have people better than you. And only surround yourself, especially in entrepreneurship, because it's a really lonely game when you're just starting and you don't make enough money to be friends with the people you want to be friends with. And you just need to understand that that time passes, and to be comfortable being alone and be comfortable learning and being in your thoughts and fighting through that lonely period, because it does get better. It does. And again, just really putting in the sheer amount of volume and work to the point where if someone externally looked at your day, they would understand why you're successful.
Wonderful. I'm going to add one thing to that. I wasn't going to add anything because those are great words, but the one thing I want to add is too many people surround themselves with people and look for advice from people that haven't been where they want to be. Find someone, like you said, who's successful, but on top of that, find someone who's exactly where you want to be. And go, I mean, whenever I go to a conference, I find the most successful financial advisor and I say, when can I take you to lunch? And just learn from someone who's down that path. So
Exactly.
I think that's really, not just surround yourself with successful people, but also find people who are where you want to be.
Yeah, and
they'll make the path easier for you.
And when I quit gymnastics, I understood that to be successful, you had to have an amazing network. And relationships in business are everything. That's the only thing I saw on social media. I'm like, okay, if that's the case, I just quit gymnastics. I don't really have a network. And I knew that, okay, what is a game that very successful people play? Golf. So I basically wrote to this golf club, email, handwritten notes, every single day for a month until they allowed me to work at their location. And this is actually where I got my first client for my agency, and I'll talk about that here in a second. But they ended up accepting me, and I was 16 when I started working there, and the second youngest person was 28. So I was significantly younger. Yeah. It's a very small staff because it's a very concierge club. And the amount of connections I made, that genuinely changed my life, and I would have worked there for free. So another piece of advice I want to add is if you're stuck, if you don't know how to find connections, think to yourself, what is a game rich people play? Where do rich people hang out? Go get a coffee at the Beverly Hills Hotel if you live in LA, or whatever the nicest spot that you live in whatever town you live in. But I understood that I needed to be around successful people, and I ended up actually meeting my mentor and current mentor, who sold exactly what I'm doing, a marketing firm, for $2 billion at that exact club. And I would go to his house every single day after school just to learn. And that's, I guess, why I said I started my business like really a year ago, because the first 6 months I was just trial and error, learning.
Gotcha.
So I didn't really LLC until like formally a year ago, but I was trying. Yeah. So you can say a year and 6 months, 2 years, but I really just say a year because that's when I was really serving clients and was confident in serving them. Because reputation is a big thing. It takes 10 years to build and 10 seconds to destroy. So I really, really wanted to hone in that skill, and I learned that from putting myself in a situation to get lucky, to meet that billionaire who sold exactly what I'm doing for $2 billion. And a lot of people could call it luck, but you create your own luck.
The harder you work, the luckier you get.
Yeah, if you never miss a day, you can never miss a chance to get lucky.
Yeah. And you know, you're talking business, but if you're looking to advance spiritually, if you're an artist, go hang out where great artists hang out. Yeah. So it's really anything. Go find that place where there's people that are where you want to be. It's not all about making money. I mean, that's obviously something we need to eat and stuff in different levels, but anything you want to do, just find a group of people who are where you want to be and just embed yourself in them. And I think people are afraid when they're younger. I think it's cool. I think I was at a meeting the other day. It was a networking meeting of business people, and I met this younger girl, and I'm talking to her. We're standing side by side. Oh, what do you do? She goes, I do nothing. I went, okay. She goes, yeah, I just recently graduated. I have a degree in this, and I need to find a job. And I thought coming here to where a whole bunch of business owners are hanging out would be a good place. And I went, that is cool. So I literally took her by the hand and introduced her to about 20 or 30 people, told the story, and everybody was like, that is badass. And I don't know how the night ended for her, but she was passed around this amazing, I mean, just so I think people younger get afraid to go into those places. And as long as you don't try to make believe you're something you're not, but people see the ambition, the drive, the interest, the determination, and then they're going to want to take you under their wing and help you. Like, all right, I see you're real, I see you're serious. We don't have time to waste, but if you're worth the time, people that are already successful will love to spend time with you, put their arm around you and go, let's go down this path together. So,
but what you just said is super special, especially for young entrepreneurs. It's people want to help you. So put yourself in a situation to be helped.
Yeah, and don't be an asshole.
Exactly.
I test everybody. If I get a young kid that wants to be helped, the first 3 or 4 tasks that I have them do are nothing but a test. And if they fail it, you're done. I don't 100%. Have time. Yeah. But if you take on those tasks and you do it and you excel, or you take it to a next level, then I'm all in. And let's go.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people prolong their learning phase. I think you mentioned earlier how you just threw yourselves to the wolves about having to manage all those people that had like 20 or 40,
30, 40 years,
30 years
more experience.
Yeah. You just threw yourselves to the wolves and you were forced to learn that. And especially when you have a mentor, they're going to give you a bunch of advice. Throw yourself at it and just attempt it as quick as you can, because knowledge is meant to be taken action on.
Yeah, and as long as you don't ruin your reputation in the process,
exactly,
there's nothing that you can do that doesn't advance your situation, even if it doesn't work out. Because people will go, it didn't quite work out, but man, that guy's a hard worker. He's knowledgeable. He put some effort into it. Let's keep our eye on him. So, all right, how do people reach you? If somebody right now says, I just want to hire you.
Yeah, at Jaden Botterini on Instagram, on TikTok, on YouTube, on all socials.
Okay.
So just shoot me a DM on Instagram.
Okay, and we'll put it under here so everybody can see it. So, Jaden, man, I appreciate this, and I told you we're going to get you to do some handstands around here. We're not going to do it on camera, but I want to see some of the gymnastics moves. So maybe we'll do some B-roll, get a backflip in the conference room or something. Yeah. So, hey, everybody, hopefully you enjoy this. Jaden's a great guy, great mentor potentially for you if you want to get in a related business. Like, share, subscribe to our channel. We're going to have more great guests on like this. And Jaden, again, I appreciate it. And
thank you for having me.
Let's set the world on fire. And I'm looking forward to talking to you a year from now and seeing if you hit that goal. I have a hunch you will.
Thank you.
Thanks, man. Thanks for watching.